Our first comic is the other half of the radio show. I mentioned earlier, Wake Up Hungover with Victoria and Tyler on Black Squirrel Radio, Sundays at noon. And she comes to us from Kent, Ohio. Let's give it up for Victoria Bussberg.
Hey, I'm Victoria. I guess I'd like to start out by saying that I'm not gay, but I am a feminist, so it's pretty similar. But I'm also a hypocrite because I have a bumper sticker on my car that says it's not pretty being easy, so. I have 2 roommates and one of them just bought a removable shower head. And then the other one was like way too excited about it. And I'm like, we can't put that in our bathroom for 2 reasons. 1, you're never gonna leave. And 2, we're not supposed to share this kind of toys. So, but I'd like to thank rap music for making that friend think that it's gay to dance like she's shooting in a hole. Every time it's like, get low, she gets like way too low and it just becomes inappropriate. I'm just like, it's alright, my face looks real sexy when I do that. It's like, that's not how dancing works. So I want to learn how to dance really sexy and like have this crazy messed up face. So like everybody knows that I'm willing, but it's gonna be strange. But sometimes when I get bored, I like to go to grocery stores and follow around small children and their parents. And when they look away, I'm like, I'm still here. And I really thought that was like the best place to do it until I realized doing really bad sex would be a lot better. Where it's like, I'm still here. Who would enjoy that? I don't bend like that. But when I was in the 2nd grade, my teacher called a parent-student-teacher conference-like thing, and she asked my mom if I was a mute. She was like, your daughter hasn't talked the entire year. That's not normal. So they sent me to a therapist, and they're like, she has anxiety disorder. And the whole time, I just thought I was really good at the quiet game. So, I was wrong. I've recently started seeing a new therapist, and she was like, Victoria, let's get to know each other, you know, tell me something personal. And I was like, I'm coming. And she didn't like that. I guess she thought it was a little too personal or something. But it's like, that's the most personal conversation I can have with someone. It's a conversation between you, the man in your bed, and your roommates, depending on how loud you are. So, but I don't like the word girlfriend. I think it's a little inappropriate. I think the only time you should be using it is like when you're fooling around in bed and like you hear a knock on the door. The guy's like, hey, you should hide, my girlfriend's coming. And then I run and hide. The other day, my mom called me and she was like, Victoria, how's your dating life going? I was like, well, seeing a European man for a night. She was like, that's weird. But it's like, she was like, oh, how was that? And I was like, weird and uncircumcised. She didn't like that either. But it's like, there's no proper way to react to foreskin. It's just like, oh, this is fantastic. Oh, you still have all of it. Is that going to change anytime soon? So until then, I'm just going to give you a high five. So. I just dropped out of college, and I realized I don't know anything. And the only two things that I'm really good at is like, I love animals, and I know a strange amount about the vagina. So that means I can either be a vet for the zoo, like an OBGYN for the zoo, not a vet for the zoo, what the fuck? An OBGYN for the zoo, or a lesbian veterinarian. Alright. Stumbled that one out. But who loves Harry Potter? Yeah. Woo. Who's accidentally caught out Harry Potter during sex? Ooh. No one? Yeah. All right. So, I've recently learned the best pickup line for black men. It's just I love black men. And then they swarm to me because they love white women. But I can't do that dap handshake thing, so I just hug them. And it ends up becoming a lot more intimate than I planned. But like whenever a white person does the dap handshake thing, I just force a real handshake on them to remind them what race they are. So, that's not bad, that's alright. But my man friend recently got the iPhone, which means thanks to technology, my breasts are now getting less attention. The second there's a blowjob app, I'm gonna be a lot lonelier. So like I'm really awkward, but like I try to pull it off as cute. It doesn't really work. But if I were an animal, I'd totally be a manatee. If that manatee liked ecstasy. The other day I watched someone like eat a whole orange with like the peel still intact. There's no joke to it. It was just like the highlight of my day. I wanted to share it with you. So, my favorite thing about waking up in the morning is morning sex. It's like the second I wake up, I just kind of look around for an erect penis. It's like, I know there's one in here. I just gotta find it. It's like the best part of waking up is a penis in around your vagina. But, so, if guys wake up with a boner, it's like morning wood. But like if I wake up late, I pee the bed. Just an observational difference. So like the other day when I was like lying in bed with my man friend, I realized that farting while cuddling is a lot like texting and driving. In the sense that it's not something you're supposed to do, but like you're gonna try and get away with anyway. And that's why I personally light cigarettes after sex, to mask the smell of farts. Alright, I'm Victoria.